deadly again. I die in your arms if you dare to. Here comes the light, we will always be true. Going up, going down. Let's see. Got my big gulp cup. Got my dip in. I've got my backwards hat. Let's see, what's another one people like to say? I got my lip ring. And of course, as always tonight, I bring my bad attitude. It is Sunday, November 16th, in the year of our Lord, 2025. I'm your host, as always, Vinny Derry. The featured story tonight will be the theory of using some form of blackouts to bring in the digital ID that I have been warning people about since before I started my show. I'll be covering moves by the Trump administration, some new Epstein emails, what's happening in Mexico today, and what/how it will affect us. And as always, I'll start with our weekly Bible quote. Let's get into it here. Oh, wrong phone. Or is it the wrong phone? What in the heck is going on here? Okay. All right. It comes from 1 Peter 2:4-10. As always, it's from the Luther Bible, not the Schofield Bible. My big gulp. See that? Yeah, people really should just stop talking shit because I'm just going to use it. Anyway, to whom you have come as to the living stone, rejected by men but chosen by God and precious. You also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. For it is written, "See, I lay a stone in Zion, a chosen and precious cornerstone, and whoever believes in him will not be put to shame." To you who believe, it is precious, but to unbelievers, the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, because they stumble at the word and do not believe it, to which they were also appointed. Or they were also destined. Sorry, read that wrong. But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the excellencies of him who called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received grace, but now you have received grace. Brothers and sisters, I urge you as foreigners and exiles to abstain from carnal desires, which wage war against your soul. In more ways than one. More ways than one, it wages war. Even the people close to you can bring those kind of desires out in you. It's not all about sex, people. It's about everything. I mean, if your partner's trying to make you do something that you know is not right, then you're just going to have the nuts to stand up and say no. I mean, that's kind of what we're living in here. especially in this day and age. But I guess my notes from this, we covered this in church today, so it's not completely my words as I say every week, but it's just kind of how I feel about everything. And cry out for more from Christ. Increase my hunger and thirst for you, so we can grow up and mature. Always grow. Don't coast. So that's the most important thing with people in faith is they think they did it right, and well, I've done enough now. Like a job, you just kind of you got to where you wanted to be, and now you just do enough to stay on that spot. That's we can't do that in our faith. You have to keep trying to get better and better and better, bigger and better. Learn more, do more. Soldiers paid attention during times of war out of necessity. We are in a spiritual war. Always we should be focused like we were in a time of war. It is. I've said many times, we are in the informational, the info war to say, the informational crusade right now. But grow into maturity in the Christian way of life. Christians are God's priests. Through the mediation of Jesus Christ, we offer spiritual sacrifices. God gives us a choice and knows what we are going to choose. We decide our eternity. We are a chosen people, us, Christians, those that walk with Christ. That's what a Christian is. We are chosen. Where did I go here? We are chosen people. We can show others the goodness of God, for he called us out of the darkness into his light. Step into our authority of leaders, chosen leaders, and preach people to Christ. It's our job to translate the Bible to those that know not how to. So I've read a lot about from the darkness into the light, and it hasn't been a secret that I've come from the dark. I still sin. I refuse to call myself a sinner because then you tell your body that's what you are and you become that. So yes, I still sin. I'm a human being, but I'm still doing my best to work closer to God, to Christ. I mean, we're sinners no matter what, okay? But living a better life and taking care of people and getting rid of the darkness, such as drugs, such as what do you call that? Sexual impurity. All of that, you can work yourself closer to Christ. There's ladders. Just keep climbing that thing. Keep climbing until you can get up to the heavens. But that's kind of where I'm going to leave that off at. That right there is more important than anything else I'm going to tell you tonight. But we've got we, me, myself, and I got a pretty good one tonight that is more of a warning show tonight. Warning what's coming and basically telling you how we can keep it from happening. But I'll start off with the news with the Trump administration moves this week. So Trump came out and announced that he wanted to introduce a 50-year house mortgage loan and a 15-year car loan. I mean, the typical bait and switch that makes people fall for paying 12 to 24 payments for an Xbox or a computer. shit you really don't need that you just end up paying literally triple for. I mean, the housing market's already like that. I think I've been paying my mortgage for almost 3 years now, and most of my shit's still going to interest. I don't believe I'll start paying any principal until I hit like the 10-year mark. So anyway. This will cause, I'll let Common Sense Investor on X break it down for us. So Trump just posted the 50-year mortgage. 50-year mortgage equals lifetime debt. Banks get rich, you never get free. Back in the early 1900s, mortgages were short, usually 3 to 5 years and mostly interest only. Then you had to pay a big lump sum at the end back to the bank because people couldn't borrow big amounts. House prices stayed low. In the 30s, we got the 30-year fully amortized mortgage. We didn't make houses more affordable. We removed the price ceiling. Banks love this because longer duration equals more years of interest extraction. And since most families move every 5 years to upgrade, they never get out of the front-loaded interest loan. Here's what happens on a $500,000 mortgage at 5% in those first 5 years. 10-year mortgage term, principal you build, interest you pay. So 10-year mortgage, $219,000 equity, $100,000 interest. Yeah, that sounds good, huh? 20-year mortgage, $83,000 equity, $115,000 interest. 30-year mortgage, $41,000 equity, $120,000 interest. So you're already at over a quarter. So just how we do it now in the 30-year terms, you're already paying a quarter of your mortgage in interest. So stack that on top of what the overpriced house you already live in costs. So now you want to go to a 50-year mortgage. That's $12,000 in equity and $123,000 in interest. Okay, so I guess interest doesn't go up as much, but it's just, do you see the pattern? The longer the term, the less equity you build, the more interest you bleed. So when families upgrade every few years, they restart the amortization clock over and over. This isn't affordability, it's a hamster wheel. 50-year mortgages don't make homes cheaper. They guarantee you never escape the first 5 years. And I agree. So the difference between a 50-year and a 30-year is maybe $200 a month. I mean, judging on where you come from or how you manage your money, $200 may or may not seem like a decent amount of money. But do you really want to save that $200 and own that house before you fucking die? Or do you just want to keep paying that extra $200 and make sure that your kids have to cover the rest of your cost at the end of it? Like I said, it's bait and switch. It's smoke and mirrors. It's just making you, like I said, with the 12 to 24 payments for an Xbox. Like, what are you doing? And I wanted to show you this here because I wanted to show a video of Trump actually saying that, and even on InfoWars, one of Trump's biggest advocators. Look at there. Video is even taken down there. I'm sure there's a way to go back into like the history part of the internet or whatever. I don't know how to do all that, but yeah, he must have realized that this was absolutely like the dumbest shit Well, not the dumbest shit he's ever said, but pretty fucking dumb. And he ordered it pulled off of everything. I even went to Yandex, which you can find all sorts of shit that you can't find on our internet because it's based out of Russia. Uh, it's not censored by Israel. And even on Yandex, it was taken down. That's pretty crazy. I guess just my notes on this whole thing is this will ensure you will never own your home, as the average home buyer first is 40 years old. And with a 15-year car loan, your car will be almost an antique and completely outdated before you own it. I mean, I I bought a new car in 2018, and by the time I paid it off, I had already spent probably $5,000 or $6,000 fixing it. So imagine if you go from that 5 year to 15. I mean, it's already ancient history. But I'm wasting a lot of time on all that. But it is pretty important, with the way the world's going right now. Who knows if it's even going to matter? I don't think anybody can even bank on a 50-year plan right now. I don't even bank on a 10-year plan, because the WEF wants to have total control as of 2030. But anyway, let's get into. Oh, geez, still having computer problems. Things basically new because I barely use it and it's still messed up. But so Kash Patel, his country singer girlfriend Alexis Wilkins just filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against ex-FBI agent Kyle Seraphin. Yeah, not a big fan of him. But also on Elijah Schaffer and Sam Parker for claiming she is a Mossad agent. Let's see where we go. Okay. Does that look like a match for that guy? Does it? Fucker's eyes are like this all the time. And he's not in the best shape. And he's with that. Make it make sense without that being a honeypot. I mean, they can try to sue me, but fuck, I can barely afford a computer to keep the show running. Go ahead and sue me for $5 million. Go for it. That is a honeypot. That indeed is an Israeli honeypot. And the funny thing about this whole thing is now they're really going to sue me. I'm not even completely sure that Kash Patel is straight, as he lives with a millionaire in a timeshare in Las Vegas. I'll read from Capital Hunters on X. Many people are talking about the WSJ's new reporting that Kash Patel wants to live part-time in Las Vegas and run the FBI remotely. Seems like people missed some key context provided earlier by the Nevada Independent. Kash lives there with timeshare scammer Michael Muldoon. You know what? I'm going to look him up real fast. Let's see. Let me get in here. Make it quick. Make it quick. I know I already wasted a shitload of time, but come on. Let's look him up. Michael Muldoon. Oh, let's do. Oh, good lord. Yeah, X is not coming through for me tonight. Oh my. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Michael Muldoon. Yep, he's a timeshare scam artist. I guess there's not much more on that, but let's see. Is he gay? Because I'm pretty sure he's gay. Yep. There we go. Yeah, he is a LGBTQ plus pedo advocator. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that your FBI director is indeed a fag. Allegedly. It's my opinion. I don't know for a fact, but he lives in basically a mansion with a gay guy. But anyway, with that, I have a little Epstein news. This one's interesting. This is pretty gross, man. It really is. Where did I find that? Oh yeah, it's in. God, is it on this one? Good Lord, most unorganized night I think I've ever had. Okay, here we go. So here's that. Okay, I'm just gonna read that for you real fast. Jeffrey Epstein asked his brother Mark Epstein whether Putin has photos of Trump blowing Bubba, which is Bill Clinton's nickname. You know, blowing. Yeah. So from Jeffrey Epstein to Mark Epstein. You mean Donnie T? On Wednesday, March 21st, 2018, Mark Epstein wrote, "You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard." Um, and then Mark wrote, "Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba." And then Jeff Epstein said, "All good, Bannon with me." Then Mark said, "How are you doing?" My Lord, I hope that isn't true. Is it completely unbelievable? No, it really isn't. Is that's something I don't want to go that deep in. But most of the world, ladies and gentlemen, the people that run the show are indeed fake and or gay in some kind of way. But there have been a few things other than that released. Let's see here. Epstein's Zorro Ranch underground lab to genetically modify humans and for a transhumanism experience seems far more credible since new emails that were exposed explain that Epstein wanted to genetically modify people. I'm sure that's probably why uh, Bill Gates was there. Yeah, that and that only. I'm sure he doesn't like to fuck little kids. Jeffrey Epstein owned a massive property in New Mexico named Zorro Ranch, where young girls were flown in for his sex trafficking, blackmail operations, and alleged medical experiments. Some even call it a baby factory, which are used for breeding undocumented children, used for sex and organ harvesting, as well as satanic rituals. Zorro Ranch is literally in the middle of nowhere. It even had a private runway for his private aircraft. Zorro Ranch is located 200 kilometers from Dulce, New Mexico. It is known to have an 8,000 square foot underground floor and is rumored to go even deeper. But what was this secret underground location really used for is the $1 million question. Multiple prominent scientists stated that Epstein was conducting experiments and wanted to seed the human race after a large cataclysmic event took place by genetically impregnating a large number of women. Epstein was obsessed with transhumanism, the perfect race, and everlasting youth. What is one thing you can't buy, no matter how much money you have? Time. All elite are obsessed with this. Once you can buy and already have everything you want, you change. You want power and control. There are reasons beyond these sick fetishes and pleasure for children in these blackmail operations as to why they do what they do. Once you understand this, everything will begin to make sense. It's all connected. I agree with all that. There's a 10-minute video I'm not going to play. What else here? Let's listen to a PSA from the Epstein survivors, huh?
I suffered so much pain.
So much pain. So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17, 14 years old. This is me. This was me. This is me. When I met Jeffrey Epstein. This is me. When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
Look at them.
1,000 of us. It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
You see that? Do you see that? They're basically dead inside. And Donald Trump calls this a hoax. So we're just going to go ahead and pretend like that doesn't exist, huh? So that it can continue to keep happening. I mean, Epstein isn't the one. They're all over the fucking place. And you're okay? You're okay with just letting that slide? Yeah, because if they release it, the government will crash, the government will fall. Then it deserves to fall! We need a good reset anyway. We need to get out of the Federal Reserve. We need all these, everybody, all these motherfuckers that are doing this to us, they need to disappear anyway. What? We're just getting worse and worse and worse. So let it fall. I say let it burn. Release all of it. Every single bit. I like how it's just being treated as like a game. Like I'll give you a little piece here. Here's another little piece. I can't give you the whole thing yet though. No, we can't do that. But anyway, it's just here we go. In 1963, Secret Service memo reads, "Our new backers are the Jews as soon as they take care of Kennedy." Yeah, there we go. It's obvious that Epstein was a Mossad agent, as well as working with the FBI, CIA, whoever the fuck else. They got dirt on everybody, and they still do. Files show Representative Stacey Plaskett got real-time help via text messages from Jeffrey Epstein on how to hurt Trump during 2019 congressional hearing with former Trump attorney. Plaskett is the person who smeared us during the Twitter files, and yeah. Oh, not to mention there's new...
Washington with more on this. Scott, what's in the photos? Good morning. Hey, Tony, good morning. The photos were taken by New York's Office of Chief Medical...
Yep, new photos about the
Epstein's body was removed before investigators arrived. Epstein's cell, experts say, should have been treated as a crime scene, and by all appearances, it was not.
Well, of course not.
On the morning of August 10th,
because he didn't kill himself.
Convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was found.
Like I said, I don't even believe the fucker's dead. I think he's in witness protection. I think he's still running free.
Get to the bottom of what happened, and there will be accountability. Epstein's death was quickly ruled a suicide, but an investigation of jail cell photos by CBS News, working with forensic experts, has raised serious questions about the New York medical examiner and the FBI's work, including a failure to preserve the scene, log evidence, and run basic forensic tests. There are 90 photos in all.
And they make it sound like they're just incompetent. They're not incompetent, people. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. They always have.
Appears on the bed in a later one. Looking at the metadata, that second photo appears to have been taken at 11:02 a.m. If that's accurate, the scene had been disturbed hours before FBI investigators arrived. Investigators also found several possible nooses, but did not conclusively identify the one that killed him. What do you make of all these things?
Several nooses, huh?
Crime scene gone wrong. Herbert Weisberg, former NYPD detective turned private investigator.
But anyway, we'll drop that. I just haven't touched on Epstein much lately because there hasn't been much, and honestly, there still isn't much. There really isn't much. I mean, we can't release the Epstein files, but we can go ahead and have a CIA agent, the president of Al Qaeda, or president of Afghanistan. Sorry, former Al Qaeda leader. Shit's too much to handle sometimes. Too much to handle sometimes. But anyway, let's get into our featured story of rolling blackouts, bringing in digital ID. This is something that I've been screaming from the mountaintops since before I even started my show. And I guess I absolutely hate being right. But I'm going to read the theory on this, kind of provided by my prompts to Grok. But the idea that power blackouts could be deliberately engineered or exploited to force the adoption of digital ID systems is a niche but recurring theory. It posits that elites, governments, or global organizations, often linked to the WEF, might orchestrate widespread outages to create chaos, erode trust in traditional infrastructure, and position digital IDs as a solution for restoring access to services like banking, healthcare, and utilities. This ties into broader narratives of a Great Reset or digital control grid, where blackouts act as a crisis catalyst for mandatory biometric or centralized identity systems. While no concrete evidence supports deliberate orchestration, the theory draws from real events like cyber-induced outages and ongoing digital ID rollouts, which I've covered for the last 5 or 6 weeks. In case somebody's watching that said it, here's my big gulp. Here's my big gulp. My backwards hat. So proponents argue the following sequence: to induce or exploit blackouts, a cyber attack, an EMP strike, a solar flare, or grid sabotage causes prolonged power loss, crippling digital dependent societies like ATMs, your banking, the streetlights, the heat in your home, the power that keeps your food cold in your refrigerator. Create dependency panic. Without power, people cannot access cash, food, or communication, amplifying calls for emergency measures. Roll out digital ID as rescue. Governments mandate digital IDs linked to biometrics or apps to ration resources, verify identity for aid, or access a new grid rebuilt with surveillance tech. 4. Long-term control. IDs integrate with CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, social credit scores, and or carbon quotas. I showed you, 2 weeks ago that Britain is already working on, they're already in the store. When you grab your package, you say a thing of pizza rolls out of the freezer, it has a carbon number on it, a carbon quota, like this costs you this much carbon that you're allowed to consume. Like, this shit's here. It's not here, but if you don't think this is coming here, and by here I mean America, then you're not only low IQ, but you're fucking retarded. It's coming. Okay? So, enabling programmable money and exclusion of non-compliers. This echoes historical fears like the 2003 Northeast blackout, which was a lie. They said that the Chinese hackers got it. Or the 2015 Ukraine cyber attack that cut power to 225,000 people. Recent events such as the April 2025 Iberian Peninsula blackout, which affected Spain, Portugal, and France, fueled speculation of cyber attacks or atmospheric tests as precursors to global resets. So claims, this one comes from the WEF, the demon himself, Klaus Schwab. In 2021, he warned of a cyber pandemic shutting down global power. It's seen as predictive programming for a WEF orchestrated blackout. Obviously. UK digital ID glitch. In AWS, so the Amazon Web Service, crashed the UK's one login system, locking millions from services. Proof that centralized digital ID creates a single point of failure for control, which we all know that our internet in the United States just has a kill switch, which means you and me can't use it, but the government can do whatever the fuck they want with it. Now let's see here. See what else there is here. Yeah, I guess we'll read Grok's little synopsis on this. It taps into genuine anxieties, rising cyber threats, privacy erosions, and opaque global agendas. While unsubstantiated as a plot, it underscores debates on balancing convenience with control. If blackouts hit, expect these narratives to explode. History shows crises amplify them. For deeper dives, check WF reports or EU digital strategy docs. But approach with skepticism on intent. As well as that, I wanted to get the cyber guy himself, Mr. Mike Adams, the health ranger. If you don't listen to him, I would definitely recommend you should at least once a week. His views on digital IDs. Adams views digital IDs as the infrastructure of tyranny, a gateway to surveillance, forced compliance, and economic exclusion. He argues they're not about convenience or security, but about reducing people to trackable data points, similar to China's social credit system. Like I said, if you don't think it's coming here, they're low IQ or fucking retarded. In his broadcast, he ties them to CBDCs, blah, blah, blah. In November, Adams dictates his segment to digital ID and surveillance concerns. He discusses how AI-powered digital IDs will monitor every transaction and movement, urging listeners to adopt decentralized living, like living off-grid, using privacy systems. Get out of Google, which I know is really hard, but to evade them. He calls it a digital gulag, where your ID validity expires if you don't comply with mandates. echoing warnings from figures like Dr. Mike Yeadon. Adams has covered this since at least 2021. He promotes alternatives like non-smartphone devices or a jailbroke system that doesn't run off of Google or Apple. He warns of ties to the World Economic Forum, WEF, Great Reset. In a 2024 clip reposted widely on X, he described digital IDs as forming a human slaughterhouse, with CBDCs, where access to essentials requires rolling up your sleeve for injections. That's what they tried during COVID, which I've covered many, many times here. But enough people, just like, enough people stood up. It wasn't enough. I mean, we're in the Great Awakening. We're in the Great Deceit as well, which is part of the awakening. It might be they're trying to force us into some other bullshit on that. But I guess, let's see here. Let's move on here. I've got just a little of my own narrative on this whole thing. I guess what I'm trying to say is expect more blackouts, especially rolling into winter. Between this and the antisemitism Trojan horse, they're going to do their best to roll out digital ID, make you beg for it. They want to make Walmart the only place you can buy food with your social credit score. So, did you get your jab? Are you okay with drag queen story time? Because if you're not, you can't eat. If you're not okay with us letting an illegal live in your house, then you don't get to eat. You don't get power. Unless you decentralize with gold backs, which are basically dollar bills that have gold infused in them. You can get them for increments. I think the cheapest one's like $8 right now. But you can literally melt it down if need be and get the gold out of it. There's silver coins, there's gold, there's assets like gas, diesel, ammo, and the most important one, if you want to survive, is food. This is our last stand. We cannot give in to any part of the digital ID or the social credit score or the carbon score. All that shit we say no to, even if it means we sacrifice being comfortable for a while. Our laziness and our weakness is how they get this. This is why I've hit the snap thing so hard. This is why I've hit everything so hard, is because this is how they get us. And I wanted to show a video. I want to see if he gave me the okay to or not. No, not there. Now it looks like my buddy. I refuse to just post something, from somebody around me without getting their consent first. So I guess we'll drop that one out and we'll move on to the next thing, and that's the riots in Mexico. The riots in Mexico that have sparked off over the last couple days. Riots in Mexico against narco and Jewish president. A Jewish Mexican president. How many Mexicans do you know that are Jews? I'd say most are Roman Catholic. It only took about 30 assassinations. 30 assassinations! Let me repeat that. 30 assassinations or weird deaths to get Steinbaum in. How do you not see it? I mean, I know I just hit the anti-Semitism Trojan horse, and I'm going to I might hit on that a little bit more here. Let me let's make sure here. Yeah, I'll hit it a little bit more, but I mean, how can you not expose shit that's the truth? I mean, I'm not afraid. I mean, come at me. Just get it over with. I've been through worse anyway. But this right here that I'm about to show you is what they actually wanted J6 to turn into. But because most conservative white Christians and black or whatever, most conservative Christians will not do shit like this because, like I read you earlier, our sacrifice is we just do what we're supposed to do, no matter what is done behind us. Does that make sense? But let's see if I got a video here. I got a lot of pictures. Oh, here we go. Yeah. That's just one of many. That's just one of many. I got a couple more I'll show you here. Come on. Yeah, it kind of reminds you of what the illegal trespasser rioters are doing in Portland, huh? Yeah, it looks pretty similar, doesn't it? There we go. Oh, there's one. Let's watch a couple more here. That's from Reuters, by the way. Yep, they're burning stuff. Let's see here. Next one. Oh, at least these protesters fly their flag. Look at that, they're flying the Mexican flag. The illegal trespasser rioters that are doing it in America are flying a different country's flag. Huh. All right, here's a pretty good one. Look at this. Look at all those people.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Yeah, that's what they want to happen here. And trust me, they're gonna do everything they can. They thought J6 would have turned into this. Violence gives them an excuse to roll the digital ID out. They want violence. They want to bring out violence in us, and we cannot comply with what they want. I might have harsh words, and I might talk a lot of shit, but we defend ourselves, and defend ourselves only. Don't fall for this. Let's see what, just in the process of me going through my stuff here. Come on. Let's see, is that the one?
You're pissed because
No, that's
history. This has been done over and over again. I have read thousands of books. I've interviewed tens of
Oh my
thousands.
God.
This is what I do. I know the plan. It's why they want me off the air. They're going to hit the synagogues with the false flags. They're going to hit the migrant illegal aliens deals. They're going to blame Trump. They're going to have a race war. Israel's going to play the victim. And Rome will fall. That is how Netanyahu and the group of rabbis he's with, it's not all of Israel, see us. I'm trying to save Rome. Now, you want to save it?
I mean, you can say what you want about Jones, but I think he's absolutely right on this. This is what they want. They're allowing anti-Semitism to arise so that they can false flag a synagogue and or an illegal trespasser riot. I showed you 3-4 weeks ago in the movie Civil War. The whole thing was kicked off by them blowing up an Antifa protest. I feel like the rounding up illegals thing is a practice run for the anti-Semites. That way, Israel can play victim, as always, which makes you wonder about World War II. I'll leave that alone right now. I'll leave it alone. Because I feel like we talk about it too much, honestly. I mean, they are behind 90% of all of our problems. They run our media. They run our politicians. They have like exclusive majority ownership of pretty much every porn site that exists. It is a real problem, but they want it to get violent. That's why Nick Fuentes is getting a huge push, which I fell for that whole thing. And I don't know. I saw a video of Fuentes out hanging out with one of those cat boys. Super gay. Now, if he's not gay, maybe he's a straight woman that became a man. I don't fucking know anymore. All right. All I know is most of the people you see on TV, most of the people that get the media push are bought and paid for, and they're there. They might not even. So I guess kind of going off topic a little bit, but with like Hitler, I mean, they used him to do what they wanted to do. It's rumored that he was bought and paid for by the Brits to do exactly what he did. You know who's in Britain? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the central bank. And who was the victim there? Who's been the victim in every major incident that we've had? It is a problem, but we need to be careful about how we talk about it. And we should talk about it. Absolutely. I don't want it to drop. I don't want people to not talk about how Israel runs everything. But we got to keep it informational. They want some kind of violence. I can't say this enough. But anyway, I'll read my own notes here that they're allowing anti-Semitism to arise so they can false flag a synagogue and round up anti-Semites, which they won't do from door to door. First, they'll turn off your accounts, bank account, social media accounts, whatever other fucking account you got, your electric account, your this, that. And then they'll use the same tactics they're using against the illegal trespassers, and they'll do it in traffic stops. They'll do it at your workplace. And this isn't just somebody like me that comes out and says exactly what's going on. This is for anybody, because this is listening to you all the time. It's always right there. Listen to everything you say. If you've ever said anything that's against the narrative, you will be included with me when they start arresting people in simple, a DUI checkpoint. There you go. They'll just start setting up checkpoints, calling it a DUI checkpoint, check your shit, and your social credit score is too low, and now you are arrested. They're going to pick the most obvious place for you to not have a weapon. So your workplace, while you're driving, you might have a weapon while you're driving, but you're going to be a hell of a lot less likely to use it than if they came to your house. And when this shit happens, I hope it doesn't, okay? I hope it doesn't happen, but it's very plausible that it could. But this shit's going to happen fast when it happens. But anyway, I'm running a little long here. Only got 5 minutes to cover about 25 minutes worth of stuff here, so I'm going to speed run it. Let's get into our local news for FEMA Region 8, the west side of South Dakota. In Rapid City, widespread power outages hit western South Dakota and Wyoming. You know what? I'm going to save that one for last because I got a little thing to say about all that. But railroad upgrades nearing completion between Rapid City and Pierre. The Rapid City Pier and Eastern Railroad is finalizing a multi-year public-private project to modernize its main line from Fort Pierre to Rapid City. This $20+ million effort aims to boost freight efficiency and economic ties within the region. SNAP benefits delayed amid federal shutdown concerns. South Dakota's Department of Social Services announced November SNAP payments would be issued partially or in full later this week. So expect your free food. For those that need it, thank you. I pray that you get it as soon as possible. But for those of you selling it for drugs, fuck you. Depending on congressional action, this affects families in Rapid City, Spearfish, and surrounding areas, exacerbating food insecurity concerns as winter approaches, which is why I said to donate. The people that truly need it, will be able to find it in some kind of food bank or a church that offers food or that collects food to give out, a workplace that does it. So if you really want to help people, just take it. I don't want to keep repeating shit over and over, but it takes $20 to buy some rice, some simple stuff. And you can feed a family of 4 or 5 for a week on $20. It's not the best meal, but nonetheless, it's a hell of a lot better than starving. If everything keeps going the way it's going right now, that's going to be even the rich people. Not rich, but people that make 200, 300, 400,000 a year. You're going to be right there with us unless you plan in advance. Go buy some food and help your neighbors. For the love of God, help your neighbors. New ice rink construction underway at... what the hell is going on here? Oh, yeah. At Spearfish's Hillsview Fields. Spearfish broke ground on a new state-of-the-art ice rink at Hillsview Fields, funded by local donors and city bonds, set to open next season. Damn. That'd be cool to check out. I've only ice skated once in my entire life, and I live in the tundra up here. But it will serve youth hockey and skating programs with community leader Brandy Purcell Hartman, emphasizing its role in fostering early morning family traditions. Construction is progressing despite recent cold snaps. You call this cold? But Deadwood City Commission advances 2026 budget amid gaming revenue dip. Well, no shit, Sherlock. We're living right where we were with Biden, where the economy's great. Like, do you fucking think we're stupid? No, the economy's not great. We're going into winter, and gas is still $3 a gallon. Like, are you shitting me? The economy's great. $100 gets you like 4 bags of groceries at Walmart of all places. The economy sucks ass. Because these boomers think that the stock market means the economy's good. No, the stock market's played with. It's fake. The stock market's run by a bunch of people that already know what the fuck is going on, and they pump and dump the right things to make it look good. It is not good. Our dollar is failing. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Oh, when they lie to us, man. And I thought Trump was our friend. I mean, he's definitely better than the other option, right? That would basically force our kids to be walking around lopping their dicks off or whatever. All right, I'm getting off topic here. In Lee Deadwood, commissioners held the first reading of the 2026 budget on November 10th, focusing on tourism recovery and infrastructure like road repairs on U.S. Highway 85. Gaming revenues for October 2025 showed a slight decline, prompting discussions on diversifying events like the annual Deadwood Jam concert series. You want to get gaming revenues back up? You want to get them through the roof? Drop income tax. Get rid of it. It's illegal anyway. I mean, shit, maybe I should just run for maybe I should just run for governor. Running off of one thing and one thing only, that I will eliminate income tax. And then there you go. Deadwood will be booming. Everybody will be booming. Most of that goes, it's all fake anyway, people. They don't need your taxes. They don't need your taxes because they just add a couple zeros. Here we go. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All right, we can afford that because our money is fake. It's not backed by anything anymore. That's why they want to get us into war so bad, which this is completely off topic and for a good reason, because all the news isn't telling me to think about this, but we're definitely going to be going to war with Iran in some way, shape, or form again. Promise. It's going to happen. But with that, I guess, this list is getting huge. Next week, so sometime next week, I will have one of those, what the Instagram models have, the LinkedIn or whatever, where you just type my link in and you can see a whole list of everywhere to find me and everything to buy from me and this, that, the other thing. Yeah, I'm going to have one of those next week. But for now, I guess I'm going to blow the next 5-6 minutes telling you where to find me and how to help me. That is the most important right now. I really need some help. We're going into winter, and a little fruits for my labors would be pretty sweet. I mean, if you just want to watch and that's it, I'm cool with that. Helping people is my entire goal on this whole thing anyway. But anyway, you can find me at Vinmeister33 on X and TikTok, which I'm live on X right now. The Vinny Dairy Show, that's on Facebook. That's the main page to find information. My let's see here, my link for PayPal and my affiliation with Dubby Energy, the clean energy drink alternative. It's got like 8 ingredients in it, and my freebies on the way, so I'll be able to give you a real review on that probably hopefully next week. I really hope. But the Vinny Dairy Show on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube now as well. So I'm just gonna release this completely unedited, unaltered version of the show to YouTube, because YouTube, I think you have to have 10. What is it? I think you have to have 100 followers in order to be able to go live on there. So if you could help me out with that, I'd appreciate it. And it would open up my viewership drastically. Because a lot of people I talk about with my show and stuff, they ask, oh, do you have YouTube? Because I don't want to download Rumble, or I don't have Facebook, or, I mean, who doesn't have Facebook? They're the smart ones that don't have Facebook. But yeah, if you follow me on YouTube, please, at the Vinny Dairy Show. That way I can go live there as well. I want to take this live absolutely everywhere I can, because if one extra person hears it, if one person, or if it brings in more viewers to help, man, like it that person can open up someone else's eyes, and it's just a domino effect. But Vinny Derry on Facebook is where I'm live right now. The Vinny Derry Show on Facebook doesn't have enough followers yet, just like YouTube. So if you see this, just follow the Vinny Derry Show on Facebook. You don't have to even do anything else. Just follow it so I can go live there instead of my personal account. Because I really want to just centralize everything to the Vinny Derry Show on Facebook, and I realize it's easier said than done, but you can find most of my, I guess, what would you call that? Oh, geez. My side political stuff on VinMeister7 on Instagram, where I repost a lot of stuff, and that's where most everything I post goes first, because it's easier. You put it in the Instagram and it shares it to Facebook immediately. So, and I do have stickers for sale. They're $2. It's mainly a fundraiser. It's a really good hard hat sticker, but let's see here. Can you even read it there? No, you can't, probably. But it's a good hard hat sticker. It's a good sticker to just go at the grocery store, or the card exchange at grocery store, or whatever. Outside the gas station, put it on the pump. I know during the election year last year, I did a ton of that with MAGA stickers and all that, and that kind of bit me in the ass, didn't it? Since Trump doesn't want us anymore, but it's fun. It really is. I used to do it with my kids. You just go and slap a sticker somewhere, make it all secret. I don't know. I think it's cool. But those are $2 a piece. If you, this is hard for people I don't see in person, but I could probably find a way to get you some if you're a remote viewer. Just reach out to me on Facebook at the Vinny Derry Show or Vinny Derry. Any of those. But with that, I'm going to call it a week. I hope you all have an amazing week. That your fruits, the fruits of your labor, are enormous. That you find new opportunities. That you reach out to someone about Christ. That you reach out to someone about the digital ID. Start having these conversations, people. It's important. It's important for normies to at least hear it. If they hear it, then their subconscious, when all this shit starts going on, it'll spark. It's kind of like I told someone at church today about how I can read my section of the Bible I'm going to read for the night, and I couldn't go into work the next day and tell you exactly what was going on there. But if somebody in the future was talking about it, I could be like, oh yeah, I know that, and cite kind of what happened in there. Subconsciously, you take in more information than you think you are. And I guess I hope you all start doing some of your own research. I mean, don't just take my own word for anything. And as always, you can message me if you got gripes, complaints.